Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. Now, for some time I've tried to avoid doing too many shows on the politics and the economics of the cow because we've been hearing so much about that, not ad nauseum almost. But this week it was such a major and a controversial and a contentious issue that this week on The Big Fight we are turning our attention to that to try and understand what really lay behind that cattle slaughter ban that the government was thinking about. Then, of course, there's been a massive and a huge reactions from many of the states, and all of this in the backdrop of something that is continuing to happen and that is causing a lot of concern, and which is acts of vigilante violence, lynch mobs, if you like, perhaps a more accurate way of describing it. People out there beating up people whom they think are ferrying cows from one place to the other, accused of having beef and so on and so forth. So it is clearly remains a very contentious, very divisive, very controversial issue. What exactly is it that the government is trying to do? What is it that the government may try and do now to try and rethink this in some ways as we are hearing? Let's just try and first bring you, before I introduce all my guests, let me just try and bring you up to date with what the latest is that we are actually hearing from various parts. First of all, this is what the government had to say as to why it thought about some sort of a ban on cattle slaughter or cattle transportation, as it was later described.
With the larger intent of preventing cruelty to animals, these rules were notified in the backdrop of some observations made by the Honorable Supreme Court and a parliamentary committee of Home Department on preventing cruelty to animals and breaking nexus in animal markets, including smuggling. That was the observation. However, subsequently, some issues were raised in different quarters.
Now, that, of course, led to a very strong reaction from a number of states who said, look, this is a state matter. You can't really intervene. And by the way, why are you imposing the beef ban on certain states where eating beef is actually part of the culture and it's a historical trend? That includes the Northeast. We've had a massive reaction in places like Meghalaya, including resignations by BJP leaders. You had a reaction from some parts of South India, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and other places. And it's saying don't foist a certain type of a culture or a norm on us. This is what some of the reactions were.
We are neither accepting or we are not bound to abide by this.
കേരളത്തിന്റെ ഭക്ഷണക്രമം എന്താകണമെന്ന് ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്നോ നാഗ്പൂരിൽ നിന്നോ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യം കേരളീയർക്കില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ ഭക്ഷണക്രമം മാറ്റണം എന്ന് ആരെങ്കിലും പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കത് അംഗീകരിക്കാൻ കഴിയില്ല.
அவர்கள் மாட்டு இறைச்சியை சாப்பிடுகிறவர்கள் இந்தியாவில் உள்ள பல மாநிலங்கள், புதுச்சேரி மாநிலம் உட்பட மாட்டு இறைச்சியை சாப்பிடுகிறவர்கள் இருக்கிறார்கள். இப்படி மத்திய அரசு தடை விதித்தது.
Now this government has started dictating the people of the nation what to eat, what not to eat.
And that finally was wrapped up this week by Arun Jaitley coming out and really indicating that there's no intention to overturn what the state laws are. This, very briefly, is what he said just a couple of days back.
Now, there are two categories of states, some which have prohibited slaughter, some which have not. Those laws are continuing. This clarification which has come has nothing to do with those state legislations. This is only which is the place of sale. Within the market, can only farmers sell? Or can you go and buy only outside the market? Is this farmers market meant for those involved in the slaughter trade or not? This is the only effect of the notification. This has nothing to do with the whether you can slaughter or not slaughter. That's the state legislations which apply.
Right. Let me now turn to all of our panelists out here. The politics and the economics of the cow, of this ban, of where are we actually headed from all of this. It's great to have joining us Rahul Ishwar. It's always a pleasure to hear you. You have strong views on the fact that cattle should be protected. Dr. Ajoy Kumar, spokesperson of the Congress Party. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Sandeep Mahapatra has been representing the RSS view and will continue to do that, no doubt, out here. Dr. Anup Surendranath is Associate Professor of Law at the National Law University in Delhi. Farzan Alawi is a spokesperson of the Meat Exporters Association, which is one of the institutions very strongly influenced and affected by all of this. Justice Khan is joining us, who's the former Chief Justice of the Jammu and Kashmir High Court. He's joining us from Srinagar. And joining us from Jaipur, Sadhvi Kamal Didi, who's the Rashtriya Adhyaksh of the Mahila Gorakshak Dal. Why don't I start off with you, Sandeep, actually. Supreme Court essentially said that, yes, you need to frame the rules for the legal sale of cattle. That's what the Supreme Court said.
Correct.
The Supreme Court nowhere says that you should prohibit the sale of cattle for slaughter. That was not there. From what
you have to understand the context.
I'm going to get the legal voices, and that's what I've understood.
So, the legal context, let me also try to give, being a lawyer. The legal context is smuggling, large-scale smuggling of cattle was happening into Nepal. Every 5 years, there is a festival called Gadimai festival, where lakhs and lakhs of cattle are slaughtered. And therefore, so as to address that issue, certain animal activists, they approached the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has seized up this matter. The Sashastra Simabal was called upon to file an affidavit. The Sashastra Simabal gave an affidavit that saying that, yes, large-scale smuggling is taking place and something needs to be done. And therefore, the government was called upon to frame these rules, and the rules were framed. Insofar as the Supreme Court telling or not telling the government whether or not to prohibit slaughter, the Supreme Court has passed a direction saying that, look, this has to stop. And those cattle which are being smuggled into Nepal, they are for slaughter purposes. So, and therefore, to say that the government could not have...
The reason I'm trying to understand this, and Anup, let me get you in on this. So, Sandeep summed it up very well as to why the government says they've done this. Others are saying that the Supreme Court was asking for it in a specific context, and you cannot use that to say there should be a nationwide ban on cow slaughter. That's not really what the Supreme Court was asking for.
Absolutely. If you look at the orders in the PIL that Sandeep was referring to, there's absolutely no reference to prohibiting the sale of cattle. The subject matter in those PILs is limited to exporting cattle from India to other countries and the issues thereby, whether there's illegal export or not, and the court is seized of that matter. Whereas now if you look at what the rules that have been brought under the Prevention of Cruelty Act is a nationwide ban on sale of cattle, and the two are completely different, and I really don't see the justification for these rules.
Just to add, in fact, the Home Ministry has a standing committee headed by Mr. P. Chidambaram of Congress Party. They submitted a report in April of 2017 saying that this is a major issue, and they studied about the cattle smuggling that is happening with the Bangladesh border. And the BSF was called upon to give the statistics, and the BSF says that since 2012 October till 2016 October, every year more than 1,50,000 of cattle which are supposed to be smuggled are seized. So, meaning thereby that there must be around 50 or more thousand more number of cattle who are getting smuggled into Bangladesh. And the Home Ministry Standing Committee also says that stringent measures are to be taken. The interesting part, Vikram, here is in 2003, West Bengal government came out with a notification saying that in all these bordering districts in West Bengal, no cattle market has to operate. But as on date, there are more than 15 cattle markets that are offering.
Why broaden that into a nationwide ban?
Why
not just, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's absolutely, I mean, if you look at the latest order of the Supreme Court from 12th July 2016, it is explicit that so we have to evolve a comprehensive future plan to effectively deal with the issue in hand pertaining to transportation of animals to Bangladesh. And in an earlier order, it's reference to Nepal. Now, I don't see what the relevance of all India ban on sale of cattle is to this issue.
I'm going to allow you to finish. I want to get everyone else in.
Just 1 second. I would answer that question. Where are these cattle sourced from? These cattle are invariably sourced from all these interior states, so to say. These are sourced from Rajasthan, these are sourced from Haryana,
Why
these are
would you
sourced
get
from
cattle
Maharashtra.
from Kerala or Tamil Nadu to ship all the way to Nepal?
The point is, from these states, cattle are being sourced to other states also.
This is all wrong interpretation.
No, these are not wrong interpretations. So, if the it is not that the bordering districts of West Bengal or for that matter in Uttar Pradesh, they are producing the cattle and those cattle.
Let me get everyone else in on the cattle slaughter ban, and then I'm going to come back to some of the other specific issues that we've touched upon.
See,
your view.
See, this is a law which is flawed right from the word go. Now, cattle smuggling is a law and order issue. So, a farmer in Tamil Nadu, Andhra will not go all the way, or even the markets operating will not coordinate for a smuggling. Okay, if smuggling is if it's happening, then the BSF or the Border Security Force, whoever they're responsible, they should look into it. Animal cruelty also is a very diverse law. Okay, Animal Cruelty Act does not stop from meat for human consumption, it does not stop trade. Okay, here it's a process to stop the trade. Now, what happens is when an industry is procuring 90% from the mandis, mandis are not in your lifetime, they have been on for hundreds of years. That is the only place where a farmer gets a fair price. Now, if animal cruelty is the issue, then why is it only buffalo is included in that? Have you seen the kind of cruelty that happens in a poultry market? Have you seen the transportation of goat and sheep? 35-40 million goat and sheep are consumed. Have you seen the transportation of that?
Okay. Two quick points. One, I'm a proud Hindu right-winger. Either I can be direct or I can be indirect. I choose to be direct. That's the reason why I'm selling. This is a matter of faith. A asta or cultural sentiments is there. This is the poster of Congress, Ajoji's Congress of Indira, and they had a party symbol of cow and calf, and their slogan was vote for calf and cow, forget all others now. Even first war of Indian independence was started in the name of a cow. Mangal Pandey fired his first shot. Gandhiji went to the extent of saying that Goraksha is as important as Swaraj for me. The greatest Dalit icon, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, in Article 48, put prohibition of cow slaughter in directive principles of state policy. Either you can cover this all up and tell some other reason, or I can be very honest. And I totally agree with you, the point saying that let us not have being honest.
Hang on. So what you're saying is, let's cut to the chase, let's face it for what it is, and you're saying that be direct, face it. Yes, the cow should have a certain status and a certain stature in this country.
Cow is personally very touchy for, especially in Hindu sentiments. Cow has a value. That doesn't mean Gandhiji's position is the best position. Even though I am a right winger, Gandhiji said it brilliantly. See, Goraksha is extremely important, but let us not attack anyone on this. Let us have non-violence. We have to have some kind of a middle ground, and unfortunately, political parties, without coming to the core issue, are playing around and making their own excuses so that the core issue is not addressed.
Okay, he's right. The Congress party once had the cow and the calf as an electoral symbol.
So one thing, Vikram, sorry.
And he's sort of saying that shows that even for the Congress party, the cow was a sacred symbol once upon a time.
So I want to tell you that what has happened in this past few days is Modi ji and Amit Shah ji has played whole of India. Because the GDP is down, jobs are down, and the cow is one of the biggest protectors. So we all are getting played. We'll continue. You'll do a show. And I'm saying that, listen, it's very interesting, and I'll give you a couple of facts.
Well, next week I'm doing a show.
But I'll tell you. So for all of India, you must wake up. India is getting played because cow is an emotional issue. Elections in Gujarat, elections in Himachal Pradesh, elections in Karnataka. Because when there were elections in Goa, Amit Shah ji said, "Go mas par koi rok nahi lagaya jayega." This is in May 2015. It doesn't matter. The cow is the biggest protector of the right-wing politics only for emotional reasons. Otherwise, Sangeet Somji, who is a poster boy of Muzaffarnagar riots and all that, won't run a company called Aldua, which advertises we export halal meat. 6,000 cows won't die in Rajasthan in a BJP government run in a Sarkari Gaushala. In Kanpur, one of their supporters, I won't name him because just for the organization, but for my sake, what I'm saying is, so whole of India is getting paid because Namani Gange, 7%, no.
You're saying it's all a
we all
political
getting
gimmick.
played. So it is politics. It is not cow protection. Nepal, by the way, Nepal's national animal is what? Cow. Nepal is a Hindu state. But
I'm not even going to get into national animals because that'll bring me to Rajasthan and whether they should have the cow as a national.
I'll finish off. I'll finish off 30 seconds.
The question of a national animal and a national bird.
For the young guys. No, young guys, I'll finish off.
Are you a Brahmin?
No.
You're wearing green.
No, but I'll tell you one thing. We are getting...
Just don't start crying. A peacock would mistake you for somebody
else. Peacocks might get pregnant, actually speaking, which is... But what I'm saying is we are all getting played in the Indian politics.
Okay, we heard you.
The right wing is going to play you. The cow is a fantastic thing for elections. They don't care.
I think Owaisi was the person who put it perhaps the most cruelly a short while back when he said, for the BJP, the cow is mummy in the north and yummy in the northeast.
Mr. Owaisi and his like could have any kind of view. I'm particularly referring to what Mr. Kumar is saying. Now he is all gaga about cow protection and all that, blaming the right wings as to why rather using the cow as a political tool. But we need to ask ourselves whether the way the Congress workers protested in Kerala, butchering a calf in broad daylight, was it justified?
Was it justified or joint?
My counter to them is if you are so concerned about the cow and the cattle, rather than butchering them, rather than slaughtering them in broad daylight, why can't you bring cow shelters? If you have some concern about cows,
butchering a calf to score a political point is also not necessarily the best.
One second. It's absolutely demented on the Youth Congress guys' part. It's absolutely insensitive, and they were suspended. But some youth Congress guys did it. BJP guys in Gujarat ran a different kind of a racket, which I cannot mention on the TV, or they were with the ISI. So are all BJP guys ISI? Or all BJP guys running different kind of racket, or all BJP guys run different kind of business rackets across the country? The question again is, youth Congress guys in Kerala did a demented,
so his point is you can't hold the whole of the youth Congress responsible for 5 people or 8 people.
And they're arrested, and we condemn it.
General Secretary, he was a state general secretary.
There was an IT head who was spying for ISI, Sandeep, for BJP in Madhya Pradesh.
Totally
Are you
wrong.
guys ISI
I'm not
agents? You're not ISI
representing
agents.
BJP, but knowing BJP,
but
nobody is in.
Sandeep, I'm not saying that the RSS is
okay,
many people in Congress.
मध्य प्रदेश में ISI के साथ आपने जासूसी किया तो आप ISI थोड़ी हो गए.
सर प्रूफ करिए ना सर. पुलिस ऑफिसर लोग ऐसे बात मत करिए यहाँ पे. कोई प्रूफ नहीं है.
It is Madhya Pradesh.
Don't.
Let's not get digress. Let's not digress. साध्वी कमल दीदी, आप महिला गोरक्षक दल की राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं. आपको क्या लगता है जो इतनी चर्चा चल रही है कि देश भर में जो काउ स्लॉटर है, कैटल स्लॉटर है, उस पर प्रतिबंध लगना चाहिए, उसको बैन किया जाना चाहिए, आपके क्या विचार हैं सारे मुद्दे पर?
बिल्कुल लगना चाहिए. बड़े दुर्भाग्य की बात है, ये देश भारतवर्ष जिसके अंदर इतने सारे ईश्वर अवतार, राम कृष्ण जिनको हम बहुत ज़्यादा मानते हैं, शिव जी जिनको मानते हैं, वो इस भारतवर्ष में आए और उनकी इस नगरी में कृष्ण जी की पूजा सब करते हैं और कृष्ण की गायों को मार मार के खाते हैं. तो ये कैसी पूजा है? शिव जी को सब पूजते हैं और उसके जो शिवलिंग के पास में बैठे हुए नंदी को सब अच्छे से पूजते हैं, धोख देते हैं, और उस नंदी को जब वो रियल में होता है उसको जाके हम लोग काटते भी हैं और खा भी जाते हैं. दुर्भाग्य है, शर्म की बात है. हमारे वेदों शास्त्रों में सब जगह गाय विश्वस्य मातृ कहा है, गाय विश्व की माँ है. और बचपन से जब हम 4th-5वीं क्लास में पढ़ते तभी से हमको ये सिखाया जाता है गाय हमारी माता है. तो कहीं ना कहीं इससे हमारा कोई तो ऐसा सनातन नाता है जिसके कारण बचपन से ही एक तो जन्म देने वाली माँ को और एक इसको माँ कहा जाता है. दूध तो हम भैंस का भी पीते हैं, लेकिन कभी भैंस माता नहीं कहा जाता.
कई ऐसे गौरक्षा दल हैं जो कानून को अपने हाथ में ले रहे हैं, लोगों को पकड़ रहे हैं, पीट रहे हैं, जान से मार रहे हैं, और इस तरह से एक मॉब कल्चर बन रहा है. इसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगी? क्या आप उनकी आलोचना करेंगी?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. देखिए, आप मेरी बात सुनिए.
आप उनकी आलोचना नहीं करेंगे जो कानून अपने हाथ में लेंगे?
आप मेरी बात सुनेंगे तो शायद आपका ये आंसर मिल जाएगा कि जो कोई गोरक्षक दल वाले जितने भी कोई हैं, तस्कर यदि कोई गाड़ी लेके जाता है और उस गाड़ी को वो नहीं रोकता है, गाय कटने के लिए जाती हैं, तो उसके लिए यदि कोई सामने वाला, उसको गोरक्षकों के पास तो कोई हथियार वगैरह होते नहीं है, हथियार तो तस्करों के पास होते हैं, तो मारपीट तो उधर से चालू होती है,
अगर कोई तस्कर है,
गोरक्षकों से नहीं.
सादी कमल दीदी जी, अगर कोई तस्कर है उस पर का सबूत है वो एक बात है, फिर भी इन लोगों का काम होना चाहिए फिर पुलिस के हवाले करना. अगर सब लोग कानून अपने हाथ में लेंगे, और हमने ये भी देखा है कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जो लोगों को पीट रहे हैं, जिनके पास परमिट भी था, जो गलत भी नहीं कर रहे थे. किसी एक कोई जने थे जो जानवरों की हड्डियां ले जा रहे थे, उनकी भी पिटाई की. आप गई थी इनके पास, आपने कहा जिन लोगों ने मारपीट की थी, किसी की जान ली थी, आपने उनको कहा कि आप भगत सिंह हैं. आप इसको कैसे डिफेंड करेंगी?
भगत सिंह का क्या दोष था कि वो देश के लिए लड़ाई लड़ा और फांसी पे चढ़ा?
पर भगत सिंह ने कभी किसी निर्दोष की जान तो नहीं ली ना कमल दीदी जी.
लेकिन भगत सिंह की क्यों जान गई?
उन्होंने अपनी जान दी, किसी और की तो जान नहीं ली. आप एक ऐसे आदमी की तुलना भगत सिंह से कर रही हैं. आप एक ऐसे आदमी की तुलना भगत सिंह जिसे कर रही है. भगत सिंह ने अपनी जान की बलिदान दी. भगत सिंह खुद शहीद हुए, उन्होंने किसी निर्दोष को नहीं मारा.
देश के लिए शहीद हुआ.
देश के लिए शहीद हुए. भगत सिंह
देश के लिए शहीद हुआ, उन्हें किसी और की तो जान नहीं ली, निर्दोष की जान नहीं ली.
देखिए, आप मेरी बात सुनिए, आप जिनका इशारा कर रहे हैं उनकी भी किसी से कोई दुश्मनी नहीं थी ना, वो कोई जान पहचान के थे.
तो ऐसे वो सड़क पे थे, उन्होंने उनकी हत्या कर दी.
गायों को
ऐसे वो सड़क पे थे, उनकी हत्या कर दी.
हुई है. गोरक्षकों के विक्रांत यादव की एकदम से गर्दन लेके चले गए तस्कर लोग, आज तक कुछ भी उसका नहीं हुआ है. और तब आप लोगों ने नहीं इश्यू उठाया, तब आप लोगों ने किसी ने नहीं कही कि
100% कमल दीदी जी 100% जिन्होंने उसकी हत्या की उनको कानूनन पकड़ा जाना चाहिए, उन पर कार्यवाही होनी चाहिए। अगर वो गिल्टी है उनको फांसी पे चढ़ा देना चाहिए ना। वो बात नहीं हुई ना। देश में एक कानून होना चाहिए कमलदीदी जी, सबके लिए एक कानून होना चाहिए।
गो भक्त, देखिए मेरी बात सुनिए, गो भक्त तो पकड़े गए, वो तो भागे नहीं, लेकिन गो तस्कर तो मार के भाग जाते हैं, कई बार पुलिस वालों को कुचल के भाग जाते हैं, कहां से पकड़ेंगे? और क्यों नहीं सरकारें पकड़ रही अभी तक?